Hi, Flosstube.
Greetings.
I'm Laura.
I'm Joe.
Welcome to the Slovak Farm.
Welcome back to all of our returning subscribers. Hello to all you new people. This is a channel where we talk about cross stitch.
It is Monday, March 2nd. It's the first Monday in March. Mother Nature doesn't know what season we're in.
I don't know what season we're in.
Does anybody know what season? Right, welcome to Ohio in March.
Is it?
Would you like to give a shout out to all of our commenters? Because we like to shout out commenters on this channel.
Yep. Who's your apple? Hanging by a thread.
Gina,
Glenna, Bridget, and Lynn Renee.
Lynn, and Renee. I'll train him someday.
Just like she'll train that one.
Yes, and Simai is joining us, so be prepared. Okay, let's go and talk about our whips.
Yay!
Whips. I have finishes this week.
Yay, you have to go get a cowbell.
Yeah, we'll have to get the cowbell.
Okay, well, you might know this about me. I did a Hyrule, The Legend of Zelda, Link to the Past, the Light World map is right here. I'm just gonna drop stuff. Yeah, there we go. I did the stuff in here. I would show you a picture, but it fell under the wife.
We're mess night right now. We're mess tonight.
That's what it'll look like when I'm done. Whee!
And we're stitching that on 18 count.
It is on 18 count, hand dyed by the Slovak Farm, Lick Effect Morning. That's all I got.
That's all I got. Okay, we visited the Grand Canyon this past week in Daily 30. Daily 30 is a challenge group I am in. It is a closed group. They are not accepting new members. If and when they do open up to new members, I'll let y'all know. We visited Grand Canyon. If you watched last week's video, we had 3 weeks to do 1,200 stitches on 200 stitches each on 10 different prompts, and I was like, I've got 3 weeks to do it. I'll take my time.
What did I call as soon as you said that?
I'm going with hashtag Megan made me do it. Because hashtag Megan made me join a clan.
Everybody makes you stitch but you.
Hashtag Megan made me do it. She thought it was funny last week when she watched last week's video and got her own hashtag. So
okay, you're cool with it. If you're cool being the internet's bad influence. She's not the only one.
She's not the only one. Sorry.
The entire virtual stitchers group.
We don't want that one yet.
I'm looking at you, people. You know who you are.
So I did one of the prompts on Sunday the 23rd. And then I did the rest of the prompts. And technically it was 11 prompts because you could do both options for one of the prompts and get extra tokens. If that makes any sense. I certainly hope it does. So
A or B, or you could do and A and B and get double.
yes. So
And or.
the first two, not yet ready for it. So
That's what we're talking about, basically.
my biggest whip and a whip that I had that is more than 200 stitches high. If you would like to know the reasoning behind these prompts, go back to last week's plans.
I love you. She's like, I've already spent 20 minutes talking about it. I'm not doing it again.
Didn't even show it to you yet. Lord of the Rings, my Tilt and Crafts Arwen and
Arwen and Aragorn.
Thank you, because words are hard. It is 325 stitches high, so it's more than 200
Well,
stitches
as much
long.
as you love Lord of the Rings, I challenge you.
So I got 400 stitches in on this.
Blanket.
My bed sheet. You can't even get it all in the screen. It is on an 18 count white Ada. I stitched here and here for 400 stitches total on it. We're just chugging away on it. Maybe I'll get it done in my lifetime. Maybe.
You better, otherwise I'll have to finish the darn thing.
I gotta find. There it is. Oh my god. Okay. Had to stitch on something that was cold. Snowflakes are pretty darn cold. I did 200 stitches on this. On Santa's house. I started that side of the outline. It's technically on a whip go goal to finish the entire outside and the kitchen. We'll see if that actually happens. Neither one of them have been pulled on whip go yet, so. This is on a 14 count Mountain Rose opalescence.
Which means it's shiny, glittery.
It's glittery.
I didn't know what that was for like the first 4 videos we were in.
No. Okay.
Because that's not a word that comes up in normal conversation.
Opalescence. It is when you're me and you love glitter. Don't fall.
Okay, in my normal conversation, we just cheap out and say glitter or glittery
Don't fall.
or sparkly. I didn't know there's another more professional sounding word. Opalescence. Ooh, I'm putting my papa hide on glittery. I'm opalescence.
Am I missing? No? Okay. Thought I was missing something. Anyways. We had to stitch on something that was hot. Hot and cold were the same prompt. Got extra credit for stitching both those items. I was going to totally smart aleck this one up and be like, well, New Year's is hot in Australia. But then I wanted to stitch Lady of the Flag for my piece that has something that looks like a monument or a landmark. I mean, I am doing her in the green conversion. And I wanted to do more than 200 stitches on her, which might have been a horrible idea. Because there was a lot of cussing going on while I was doing this.
You and that, everybody wants a stitch. Everybody wants to torment themselves.
So I did 200 and 223, which would be 423 stitches altogether on Lady of the Flag. This is done in a 32 count hand-dyed by the Slovak Farm. For your thoughts. Part of the reason I was just tired of the flag, and I was like, I'll switch to working on her shoulder, up in here. But then I didn't have the right greens, so I had to stitch all of my stitches on the flag. There's my progress on her flag. So it was just like a little bummer because I wanted to do something different, but I didn't have what I needed to do something different.
You know, why don't you just go up to DNC, give me 5 of everything you got now? You're right. You need 10 for some colors. Tell me between all your projects, you have 1 or 2 colors that are in common between most of them.
I do. Then
You guess so much. What the heck when you go to edit this? I'm being nice.
Then I had to stitch on a piece that was my first expedition into something. Yes, I could have done Lady of the Flag with it. I could have done Lady of the Flag with it. But I didn't. I did Chatelaine, Winter's Ferry. Insert picture here. Because I still haven't printed it out. And I did a lot of stitches on this. Because I worked on this Friday and Saturday. And when you're in challenge groups, so this is done on a hand dyed by the Silvac Farm. This is a Lake Effect morning piece. It is 28 count. I needed to do 300 stitches to get something for our clan for Myth and Magic Stitching Wars on Saturday. Plus, I worked on specialty stitches. So there's road stitches there. There's
Need help?
roads stitches there. I can't see.
Hold on.
There's road stitches there. There's eyelet stitches here. Those are road stitches. And then in here and on both sides here are Jessica stitches. And in challenge group, specialty stitches, each leg counts as half a stitch. So for every 2 legs you do, you get a whole stitch. And with the way the specialty stitches counted out, I ended up with 305 stitches on Winter Fairy. I need to do 6 more Jessica stitches, and the top band is done.
Who is this Jessica? How does she have her own stitch?
I don't know, but Jessie Marie does stuff, signs all of her projects with a Jessica stitch because her name is Jessica. I'm jealous that she has a specialty stitch with her name, that she can do that. So I need to finish 6 more Jessica stitches, and I may do the small beads and save the big beads to last, but do the small beads before I move on to the next panel of that.
Where is it?
Big pink thing. Mercy me. I had to do.
I don't see the cover thing.
I have it over here. I had it over here. Okay. So we had to do something with an animal on it, and something where we omitted a layer. I haven't shown this part yet. So, Ride Forth Singing, she has a horse on there. And if you look closely, there is a border on the outside of the flower border. I am omitting that border because, I don't know, I just don't feel it necessary to be stitched. Not that I have anything against it, I just don't feel like stitching it. This is way more than 400 stitches. I have started prompts for next week with this. About here was 400 stitches. Actually, about her, she actually was 503 stitches. I overachieved the stitches. I got a crocodile spleen yesterday because I stitched 600 stitches on this.
What did you do to a crocodile?
Got a crocodile spleen.
Who came up with one.
Whoever came up with the items in Myth and Magic Stitches. Okay, now on to my finishes. Now on to my finishes. Okay.
My brain broke.
So I had to put stitch on something that had more than 2 houses, and stitch on something that had a long, thin, snake-like something. Main Street. So I pulled out Main Street. And I finished the dress shop.
Yay!
The clothing store. That's the back of it. So the clothing shop is finished. So the clothing shop is finished. And I actually ended up putting stitches in on what's going to be Rexall Drugstore. I have a lot of Rexall Drugstore finish. This is on a piece of 14 count hand dyed by the Silvac Farm Solo. It's just a piece that I dyed. I feel like I've gone way too fast today on my whips and my finishes.
Because you're not explaining anything new because you already did that last week.
One more finish. If I
That's usually what takes up most of the time. Tell me if I'm wrong.
Probably, I guess. I don't know. I feel like I'm just going really fast. I'm probably going to get to editing and go, God, slow down.
Slow down now. Or play the video at 0.75 speed.
So, last week, remember last week I told you guys I had 50 stitches left on this deer coaster. And I was going to finish it, if nothing at all, just to finish it. And I did. So we now have the deer and the moose finished. We're halfway there. We're halfway there. We're living on a prayer.
E.
What?
Prayer. E. Sure. Well, it is stuffed animals you got.
Okay.
They love you.
I love you. And that was 56 stitches on that. It's on a plastic canvas that came with the kit. Main Street was 271 plus 234.
271, 234, 7, 3, 6, that makes 5. So, let me see, where's it written down? That makes 505.
505. 505 stitches on Main Street.
Wow, that should not have been that hard for me. Wow.
So for Grand Canyon week this week, not including the prompt I finished last week, I did 2,400 stitches. I did 470 stitches extra. The extra stitches on Ride Forth for this week's prompts we got on Friday. And then there was 2 other prompts that I started over the weekend that I got in the deer coaster. So for the week, I did 2,870 stitches. I'm hoping I'll be able to go back to this week was these prompts, then next week. Cheryl's going to be at market this coming up weekend, so we won't have prompts on Friday. So she's given us 3 weeks to work on Grand Canyon week, which is done, and 3 weeks to work on what I'm going to talk to you about in plans.
And then you're going to have 1 week of this where you're going to be like, I stitched a lot of dragon hearts and stuff for the group. They finished all the Cheryl stuff last week.
don't know that I'm going to finish the the prompts we got on Friday in a week. I don't think I'm going to. Theoretically, I just don't. Anyways. For the month of February, now I did not count yesterday because technically yesterday was March 1st. For the month of February, I did 11,526 and 3/4 stitches. So, that's been my stitching this past week. Moving on to plans. I forgot we got a little bit of haul.
Little bit.
Just a little bit, not a whole lot. We went to
Unless you
Joann's.
looked at our receipt.
We went to Joann's yesterday to fill out Argon on Arwen and
a couple colors.
Light World map. So we got a floss haul. I'm going to try to make Q-snap covers. We'll see how this goes. Elastic and I generally don't sew well together. I got a little box to put my scissors and my threaders and extra needles.
So now instead of losing all of them, you're just going to lose the whole dang box.
I have been having to move crap back and forth because the cat will get up on the couch on the other side of the love seat and want to walk all over my stuff. So I move everything so he can lay down, and then he runs away and doesn't actually lay down.
But if she leaves her stuff there, he lays down.
But if I leave my stuff there, he lays down.
He wants to be important.
Oh, he's important. All right. And then I bought a bunch of my favorite needles because reload, Megan, reload.
I stole your clip.
Look, there are only 4 other people who will understand that joke, and that's okay.
Nope, I stole your clip.
And that's all the haul. Plans.
Stabbing things, maybe, sort of, kind of. I don't know. I don't know.
Stitching for bat wings and dragon livers and crocodile spleens.
And pebbles.
No, don't stitch for pebbles. Yet. Don't ask. I realize that I'm going to annoy somebody with this video because I keep leaning and I get out of frame because I think the camera's closer to us than it normally is.
Sorry.
My apologies.
Well, I can always just leave you. You can center it on you.
No.
Well, less computer screens crack with my face not on it.
So this week, for Daily 30, we are on Gilligan's Island.
Gilligan's?
We're on Gilligan's Island.
Okay, I would actually like to see you wearing coconuts and palm
You know, just sit right back and we'll tell a tale. There's a reason we could never be monetized because somebody would copyright me for the random song references I drop.
I should love you since you reference the song title and artist name when you do it.
Alright. So, our stitch count options this week are 400, 500, and 600. And we have 3 weeks to complete it. There is 6 prompts, and we have 3 weeks to complete the prompts.
So there's 3,600 prompts. That'll take you about a week and a half, if that.
It's really not that. When you kind of lay it out to you have 3 weeks to stitch it and we're not getting new prompts on Friday, it's not that much.
I actually was using your average stitch.
Excuse me.
It's a week and a half for you casually stitching.
Right. Okay. So, Gilligan's name was originally going to be Willie. I'm so glad that didn't stick. But the show creator found the name Gilligan while flipping through the phone book. So he changed his name to Gilligan. Fun fact, I used to be able to sing the Gilligan's Island theme song verbatim because we watched it that much when I was a child. Random fun things about me. I haven't decided. So we have to stitch on something that was an unplanned purchase. I haven't truly decided which one I want to stitch on. Which one was the greater impulse purchase?
You could do the one you technically didn't purchase at all.
Eh?
Lady.
And there was planning involved in that.
Technically, everything you do is with planning. Have you looked at your planner?
This was an impulse purchase.
Oh!
This was an impulse purchase.
I'm so proud of you. You did something on impulse.
It took maybe a month of seeing Enable All the Things, stitching it. That's Christine Stitch All the Things. I call her Enable All the Things. Stitching it before I said, yep, I'm definitely going to stitch that. No, I saw her starting to stitch and I said, yeah, I think I want to stitch that. And then a couple weeks later it was, I'm buying this.
And then it was, hey, honey, look what I bought. I'm like, whatever.
That was definitely, so this was an on-plan purchase. And then, this was most definitely an unplanned purchase. Within 20 minutes of them telling me that telling us on Virtual Stitchers that Tilton Crafts had released this pattern, I had bought it.
And that she told me after the fact.
So,
To which I don't care. I just thought it was funny. It's one of the few things she's ever done that with.
I have two options for an unplanned purchase.
Well, my advice:
What?
do the easier one. Do the one you're currently obsessing over.
Lord of the Rings?
Mm-hmm.
I've considered that. I think I might, especially having looked at the monthlies. During the first few months of airing of Gilligan's Island, the Coast Guard actually received multiple calls and letters requesting they go out and save the castaways. Got nothing.
Is that kind of like the story of why the army traces the Santa thing?
Why aren't? Yeah, kind of like the story why they do NORAD Santa Tracker.
So that one was actually a mistake.
Yeah. So we have to stitch on something with letters on it. That's got letters on it. 600 stitches on this. That could be a bear. But we're going to see what we do. The last time I said I was going to time this and not count stitches, I ended up going over the stitch count anyways. So I think I'll be okay.
Remember, you can do 200 stitches, and something else, then 200 stitches, and something else, then 200.
I can't.
You have to wait for the
I can. The pilot for Gilligan's Island was filmed on the day of John F. Kennedy's assassination in Dallas, Texas. If you look close enough, in the very first episode, you can actually see the flags as they're departing on their journey at half-mast. So we were to stitch on something with a flag on it. Y'all, I started One Nation yesterday.
Oh my god.
By the way, still not bigger than Arwen and Argon. So I started One Nation, so this is what I'm using. I do have some stitches in on it. Just
honey, I have one question.
what?
Please tell me you're at your back limit. If you get anything bigger, we're going to need a garage. You're going to need to put this thing in a Batmobile.
I like big baps and I cannot lie.
Shame, shame, shame.
Gilligan's Island was originally filmed the lagoon for Gilligan's Island was originally filmed in Malibu. But fog caused such an issue with filming that they actually had to move it to a Studio City lot, which was later drained and paved over into a parking lot. They paved paradise and put up a parking lot. That's another song reference. See?
No, those you're actually allowed to do as long as you don't sing them.
They paved paradise and put up a parking lot. We are to stitch on something with water in it. Crap, I don't have the picture down here. Insert picture here. Shores of Hawker Hollow. It is my leap year start.
Leap years?
Or leap into the new year start. I forget what we called it in Virtual Stitchers, but on the 29th of each month, we're supposed to start a new project. I am breaking up the blocks of Shores of Hawker Hollow and starting a new one and starting one each month. I missed January because life. I knew I had to get February in because February 29th is the whole reason we're doing this, the whole leap year thing. So I did start it on Saturday. I started it on Saturday. I will show it to you next week because I am nowhere close to my stitch goals for that. I need this back out. Originally, the cast drank out of coconuts for authenticity's sake, but they quickly discovered that coconuts, once opened, are not really good at holding water. So they had to use man-made coconuts for them to drink out of, basically. So we are supposed to stitch on something that looks like a coconut. So I started the bear. Move this finger, Laura. I started the bear on my coaster set. Sorry, there's glare. Because it's round like a coconut, and actually it's dark tan on the outside and light on the inside like a coconut.
Would you like a different idea?
What?
They use shaved coconut for snow effects, so you can do Santa house because it looks like the coconut on gingerbread house.
I'm doing this.
Okay. Just a suggestion. Don't need to go attitude down.
I mean, technically those are winter animals, so shaved coconut for a winter effect, anybody? Winter. Okay.
Stretch.
And I'm not stretching that one. This one I am stretching.
Okay.
Originally, Marianne's name was Bunny, and she resembled nothing of Marianne.
Bunny?
Her original name was Bunny. They would have had, I'm going to go with a name like that. They would have had two gingers, and that wouldn't have worked.
But the name Bunny, my exact thought was, okay, are you supposed to be on that show?
So we have to stitch on something with a bunny. Bunny. It is in quotations, which means I can stretch it. So back in the day, bunny was a slang term for a pretty girl. I have a pretty girl on horseback. So she's getting some stitches in on her. And that's where the stitches for the head come in. I have worked on that. My goal is to finish that today.
And if that doesn't work, no, that wouldn't work. It's kind of hoping shed pigtails.
Look. We're stretching it.
No.
We're going with the stretch. Okay. So, now normally I don't do the monthlies until I stitch on them and we talk about them. This month, I jokingly said that we were all going to riot if Cheryl didn't give us Nashville themed prompts for when, earthquake, for when Nashville happened. She's giving us the whole month of March as Nashville themed prompts. Pretty sure it was a coincidence, but it's funny.
No, it's probably the both of you had the exact same thought.
Probably. So there are 6 monthly prompts.
Dun, dun, dun.
500 stitches each. So here are
6 just less than the 2 week you have for the 3 week prompt you have has less stitches than the monthly.
Has more.
Yeah, you got my point.
I have plenty. I'll have time.
I know. I'm just
Okay.
pointing out.
So the show is held. So we know Nashville Needlework is held in Nashville at the Embassy Suites. If you're not clear on how it works, the designers rent a suite at Embassy Suites. The front room, which is the living room, is their show space. It's where they put up their product and their little displays, and then they sleep in the back room. Extra furniture goes in the back room. Designers are always showing pictures and videos on social media of how they make it look so pretty in the front, and the back room where they sleep looks like, oh my God. And they have to move all of that furniture in and out of that living room by themselves or with whatever helper they take. Fun fact.
So if you were a designer, I'd be going with.
Yeah. So it's not a convention type show. Think a convention type show, think a craft show basically. You have booths. This is different. It's a hotel show, so we have to stitch on a piece that we could say is a hotel. I haven't picked out any of my projects for these.
I have them for that.
I was going to do that today.
Can I help?
My boss apparently decided I needed to actually work today. No, I'm kidding. No, she decided she needed to torture me today.
I guess you don't want me helping.
You can help. We'll do it later.
Okay.
I just want to run through them really quick.
Go then.
Okay. Like I said, and they set up their displays around. They utilize the furniture in the room, and some of them bring extra tables and stuff. They try to utilize as much of the furniture in the room as possible, so they have to move as little as possible. So we have to stitch on a piece with something that we would consider furniture. The show takes up 4 floors of the Embassy Suites. And if you've never been in an Embassy Suite, the rooms are kind of, the floors are set up. There's a center courtyard that goes the whole depth of the hotel. And the rooms are set up around that. So it kind of gives the shop owners and the designers a more, I don't know, social feel because it's, a more intimate space. So we have to stitch on something that is a square shape to represent that courtyard look. I have a couple options for that. There will be 14 new designers at Nashville this year. Now that's not new to designing designers. That's 14 designers that have never displayed at Nashville Needlework before. So we are to stitch on, and a lot of them are new modern designs. So we have to stitch on our newest release project. So I have to figure out which one of my whips has the newest release date.
I think I know which one that is, actually.
I'm not actually sure.
I think I know which one it is. Airborne.
You are right. That would be my newest release.
Because you bought it like the day it came out, didn't you?
Yeah, because I bought it right away you are correct. Very good. They do offer classes to the shop owners that attend Needlework Market. And the subjects are various types from, running your needle shop, your running your shop, blah, 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 and techniques. So we are to stitch on a piece that we think we have enough experience with to teach a class on it.
I actually have a good one for that, but I think you'll kill me.
And then the final prompt is to stitch. Most everyone at needlework at market stays at the embassy suites, so shop owners and designers and everybody that's there kind of during breakfast they interact. After the shopping is closed down, they'll have dinner and drinks at the hotel restaurant, so everybody kind of gets to interact and they get to build their friendships and that really cool kind of thing. So we are to stitch on a whip that you feel would signify the special friendship that may begin or grow by attending our own Nashville. That is our.
Any one of the ones that Virtual Stitchers got you into.
I mean, there's that.
Any, what you said for the 29th. That is something you and your friends do.
Very true.
But,
Okay. So that. I feel like I rushed this week's video, but I don't think I really did.
no, you didn't. It's been 40 plus minutes. Maybe 50.
And I've missed the 7 p.m. weather.
Yep. So, not that bad.
That's our video for the week. What do we want the people to do?
We want to if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. Then there's the comment below. Like, constructive criticism is welcome. Rude people get deleted.
And as I said, our shout outs are to the people who comment on our videos.
Yep. And
we started doing that, and that's what we like, so that's how we roll.
Share. There's a little bell thingy that lets you know when we post stuff. Because YouTube's algorithm stink.
That's it.
All right.
Excuse me.
And bye.